Hello everybody, welcome to day 14. Today I'm going to make some lanterns, and you see me here with some red transparent paper that I had on my desk from another lantern that I made, and I tried to see if it would fit around that tiny bit of cardstock that I had there, but in the end it didn't, so I was just, doing something different. There's very many ways that you can make lanterns. They can be square, they can be rectangular, they can be round, all the sizes and shapes that you want them to be. You just need some transparent paper and some sticky glue and maybe some punches with funny pictures there. So I did cut that red transparent paper, and now I'm folding it over just a tiny bit, maybe a centimeter, which is like half an inch, and it will not fit around that card box thing. So what I'm going to do here is still measuring and trying, and goddamn physics, it will not work. It's just a millimeter. Like, you see, it's just a tiny bit too short, but what can you do? So when you have this kind of scrap paper pretty much that you would otherwise throw away or have on your stash forever, just take a stapler and make a round shape. Of course you need to have those tiny metal pieces in there as well, and I just realized, well, I hadn't. So you don't even need sticky tape. You could use sticky tape or other adhesive tape for holding both parts of the paper together as well. But I went for a very quick 2 times stapling the tube there, and you just put it over a tea candle in the end, and that's that. You could have a tiny ribbon around it if you wanted, but I just went for a very simple lantern for a tea candle there. Next thing I did was one with the real size, like it's supposed to be. So I took a DIN A4 transparent paper, and this is white with gold, and it's still not fitting around that cardstock box, so I would need a bigger piece of paper there. So I just went for another trick, and that is folding the lantern in on itself. So the first thing I do is I score my paper just slightly, because I'm bad with having straight lines, and I do that at 2 inches, and that will be the bottom of the box. And then I'm scoring almost half an inch piece there, and that will be the part where you glue the stuff together in the end. And after that, it's pretty much just folding. So you fold it in 4s. You can see there. So 4 pieces, just folding it down, holding it neat. And then you see how you can attach those 2 pieces together, and it makes a square. So on the lower part for the bottom, I'm just cutting in all of the score lines so that it is possible to be folded together. And I'm getting rid of that tiny bit, that thinner strip there. It's pretty much basic box making measurements, or just the same type of cutting and scoring like you would do with any other box. So you just need some adhesive, and I'm currently fighting off screen with my adhesive because it's a new roll of tape and it's another brand other than I usually use, so I wanted to try that out because it was supposed to be very strong and hold also other stuff together, like the transparent paper onto a cardstock, for example. So that is why I changed the adhesive here. Also, I ran out of my sticky tape, so I had to go with the other brand here. And it's a bit wider, which doesn't help too much in my case here, but it's okay if your little tiny part there is a bit wider than mine on this project. It didn't, I didn't have any other problems with it in the end, so even with a wider strip it held together perfectly. So I'm just putting both of the sheets together, gluing the flat sheet into a box pretty much, and then I'm just folding up the bottom, and again I'm using one piece of stick here, a sticky strip or double adhesive tape. I'm just gluing both of the things together. If this is too flimsy for you, you could also cut a piece of cardstock maybe. I would go for a golden one with this one here and put it onto the bottom on the inner part of the lantern, and there you can have your candlelight or your tea candle in there. If you have one of those, not a tea candlelight but a real candlelight, I would suggest to have a glass around it just to prevent any burning, any accidents or whatever. So I would definitely recommend that. And I punched holes into the upper parts of the paper there just to be able to tie a string through, and I'm using a paper string here so that you can hang it up onto, I don't know, a window maybe, or some wooden part in your living room or something. I don't know what your apartment or your house looks like. Maybe you have something where you can hang it up. And I'm having two different strips here, or two separate ones, so that you can still easily reach into the lantern to light your candle, although you might have that lantern be hung up on, like I said, maybe a window or whatever, an overhang. You have to be a bit careful with the transparent paper so that it doesn't rip when you pull through the string or that paper ribbon here. You could also use any packaging twine or maybe another satin ribbon or something. Anything that you have at hand and that would fit the pattern and the color of the lantern is fine. And then I'm just tying a knot on all of those strips, and I'm always tying two together so that you can put them on a hook easily. And that pretty much is the lantern and the project for today. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, all the material I used are in the description below. And right after this video, I'm showing you photos of all the other lanterns that I made so that maybe they inspire you to go for other forms as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a good day. See you tomorrow.